So let's talk about data billing. Data billing is a process where when the dentist sees a patient, we go ahead and fill out a form with the patient's name, the services that were rendered, the fees, the doctor's information, and then we send it to the insurance company electronically. And then, in return, the insurance will take their time, usually 2 weeks to 30 days to process a claim. Luckily, they'll pay what was estimated. Otherwise, they might deny it, and then we have to resubmit again. So basically, that is just one part of the process. However, there is the intake process, which is often overlooked because the information that you're going to collect from the patient has to match what is on their insurance card. Otherwise, when it's sent electronically or even by mail, sometimes it can come back because it doesn't recognize. It could be one letter, it doesn't recognize the name, one letter of the name doesn't match, or birthday, one number is not matching. It could be anything, zip code sometime. But in any case, that's the intake, and that's part of the beginning of the process. There is the scheduling, the intake, and then there is the claims, the insurance verification, which consists of eligibility. Effective date is often missed when collecting insurance information. Effective date, payer ID, group number, carrier, group name, and you put all that information in their insurance carrier address to mail the claim, which is sometimes is not the same as their corporate address or whatever the case may be, or that the patient has for the address, or that is on the card. It could be different. And then we have submission. Make sure that it's submitted correctly to the correct payer, and then validate the claim. Once it's validated, you're gonna make sure that it's not getting rejected at the clearinghouse level. And then it's submitted, and of course, then there is claim follow-up. Follow up on the claim, whether you have to call, use their insurance carrier portal to check on the claim. What I often see is that sometimes what I see admins do, and I get it because of how time consuming it is, they'll go on a portal and see that it's pending or says processing. So they just leave it at that within 30 days. For me, if it's been over 14 days, then you want to go ahead and make a call, or at least 30 days, then you want to go ahead and make a call and make sure there's nothing else going on, because then if you need to resubmit it, it's going to be another 30 days. So that's at least 3 weeks. Let's say 3 weeks. You got 14 days, and then you got one more week. By that week, you don't have anything, then you definitely want to call. Don't let the insurance rep just tell you that it's processing. You let them know it's almost 3 weeks. It's almost 30 days, so we need to find out what's going on with it. And if you have to get a supervisor, they tell you there is no supervisor available, you can ask them to create a ticket, escalate it, what their next escalation process in any case. And then when you have to resubmit it, make sure you ask again, what is the payer ID? Because maybe it's a payer ID issue. You never know. Make sure you have that correct, the address in case you need to mail the claim, of course. So the next process is, escalated, what their next escalation process in any case. And then when you have to resubmit it, make sure you ask again, what is the payer ID? Because maybe it's a payer ID issue. You never know. Make sure you have that correct, the address in case you need to mail the claim, of course. So the next process is, once you get the EOB, the posting. So a lot of people get the misconception that when you're posting, you're just posting the payment. But when you have something that is denied, I think that it should be appealed right there and then while you're posting, or resubmit it with the correct information if it's available right there and then. Then once you post it, another part of the posting that is often missed is the balancing, reconciliation of the posting. So whatever you have on the software, you're gonna go ahead and match it to the total deposit or total checks that you have. I usually have total checks in total pages of the scan because they scan it in to us. But if you're in the office, you can just do the total amount of checks that you have for the deposit slip. You have to get a calculator tape or something. You can staple it together and you can match it to the software deposit in the computer. Now, if you have something, a discrepancy, or it's not matching, you're not balancing, then of course you're gonna go ahead and get the difference between the two and see what's missing, if you're over or if you're under the total of each other. Which one has more? Is it the software or your deposit? In any case, once you have that, most of the software they have a part of the module where you can see all the payments that were posted. You can click in there, see the totals, and see which one was missed. That is the usual standard process for claim processing or billing processing. Of course, you have the other add-on to the processing, which is the dental billing, which is credentialing, updating the fees, codes, all of that, treatment planning or prioritization. So all those are add-ons. But I hope this video helped in explaining the dental billing process. I forgot patient billing. After you got all the claims paid in an account or processed, whether they're denied or processed, you made your attempt to appeal, and it's a planned denial to where you can't be, they will deny every appeal because that's what the plan says and how it's done. It's not a clinical issue or anything like that, or missing documentation. You have an account that has all the claims closed or processed, paid, nothing is pending, they have a balance, then you go through that patient billing process where you contact the patients, whether it's an email, text messaging, and phone calls, depending on their, on their communication preferences and concerns, of course. With that said, that summarizes a little bit what the dental billing process is. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want more about dental billing, make sure to comment below or DM me for any info. Thank you. Bye-bye.